Okay. So what I want us to think about is how do we use this incentive? Because corporate are always saying to use the incentives to build your business. So the first thing is we've got this specialist incentive, and I think it said the 30th. It might have said the 31st. Do you all remember?
30th.
30th.
The 30th.
So it's through the 30th. So then you can celebrate on Halloween. So through the 30th, they're going to save 15%. So you start off with that incentive to encourage people to sign up. Then the next incentive that you're going to want to tell them about, because they stack, is the incentive of the first piece, which is, start strong. I mean, what is the first one called? Power Start. So if they do 1,500, then they get their $100 back. And so now their sign up is for free. And if they do that 1,500, and I've got to look at that, if they do that 1,500, then that's their first pay raise too. Now, more products are moved in the last week of the month than are moved any other time. So right now is prime time because it's always big, but this gives you something much bigger. So people who want larger items, like they want water systems, they want comforters, all of this kind of thing. I mean, this is like primo time, but it's very much primo time to get someone started in the business. And, one of the things that they were talking about today, it's not even a matter of they want to change careers, but it is much harder today for families to make it on each person doing just one thing. Mm-hmm. Families today, most of the time, one job, or if it's a two-parent family, two jobs, don't pay all the bills. And if you haven't noticed, food is going up in a major kind of way. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm really watching so here is a way. Do you need any extra money? Have you all been thinking about a way that you could make some extra money? Not replacing, it can, but if you had an extra 100, if you had an extra 200, and the truth is, it's easier to teach someone how to make an extra 200 a month than it is to make an extra 500 a month. It's really not. I'm going to take that back. The truth is, you can make that extra 5. But the thing is, you start with what somebody's belief is. And most people think a little bit smaller. That if they say, well, you can make an extra 200, oh, then I could probably do that. If you say 500 or 1,500, they may go, wow, that's way too much. I don't think I could do that. And you know what? Did you hear Luis? When we started talking about the mind, whether somebody believes they can or believes they can't, they're right. That's a Henry Ford. It's one of my favorites. So this is a great, great time. And we're in that last 90-day push. There's a pop quiz. When is always Nikken's very best quarter?
Last one.
The last quarter.
Last.
Thank you. You weren't supposed to answer. That's right. So, and changes are made in 30-day rolls. So in October, focusing on your point volume and focusing on recruiting will lead you to the next month to focus on your PGV of growing your team, and then the third month of finishing really strong. And we know that things are done better in a team if we all work together and cheer each other on. And that's why I've got the WhatsApp set up. And I want you all using this. I'm going to be putting something up there every day. If you've got a question about a product, go to the WhatsApp. If you need a product, the truth is, for those of us that are on the East Coast, if one of us has a product and we're trying to get it in somebody else's hands quicker, if I could call Shirley and Shirley say, I need a knee wrap, and Shirley's got one. If I call Shirley and I'll pay her to ship it to the person, and then we order the one from Nikken and ship it back to her, we're going to save time in getting that product to the person. And we can work this together. This is how the gals do it in Latin America. If you were on yesterday and you looked at Team Kaizen and Team Tashi, is there anything you noticed about that group? I was a white person and in the minority, and that just does not happen in the United States very often, in case you haven't noticed. You know, it's they know how to do this business. They know how to do this business because they work collectively together. And we can do so much more. So I want you to be thinking about this, and I'm going to be thinking about it in planning our Wednesday night. You know, this is going to be a great, great year. Nikken's had their very best year. So think about what we can do in those 3 months. And remember, you want to be building your client base. I'll tell you, a marketing guy told me on Thursday, he said, I don't know why. He said, you all are just not marketing those water bottles well enough. I'm doing some work with him that I'm going to be sharing with you all. He says, because I did some research, and he said, there ain't nobody out there that's got what you've got. Now, he doesn't even know anything about Nikken, except, and I will say this, he bought an air system from me in September. And he is over the moon about that. And when I told him the air system would be back in December, he said, you're kidding me. We're going to kill it. We're going to kill it in December. And did anybody yesterday, if you were on the Ladies Leading Ladies cocktail hour, our scientist, Dave Balzer, and we can talk about this, we just can't put it in writing. Right. The negative ions that are emitted by our system kills viruses. Now, God knows, when you tell somebody about that, do not say it kills COVID, okay?
Yeah.
It kills viruses. If you can find a research paper that talks about that, put it out there on your Facebook page, but don't mention the air system when you do it. Just say, this is a cool article about negative ions killing. That's it. And then later, or next post up, you put our thing. Don't go into, we look at our air filtration system and check it out. Ask me questions if you like. Then you can say, yes, it does produce negative ions. You know, that is huge. And I will tell you that any time that I have anybody come into my house, I take at least 2 air filters and put in my living room, and they are surrounding you, even when we're wearing masks. My brother, who's a teacher, and they're really small classrooms, the biggest classroom he's ever in is 13 people. And he actually has to go into a classroom with little people, and little people emit this virus. I've always said that kids were little carriers, and that has all come out to play. I mean, I love kids. Everybody, it's no, but you know, they are germ carriers, and they are in with this virus. They have more load in their little noses to share than anybody else. They don't get it as much, but they got more on board. So he carries that when he goes and works with the little people. He makes sure he's got that with him. So that, you know, that's huge and coming. But this article I was reading was hydration was going to be one of the biggest problems because we are so dehydrated. Yeah. Yeah. And hydration is one of the major things in whether you get sick or not. Mm-hmm. Now, I'll also tell you about a study, and this is just Kimball's a geek, but the blood study showing, and it doesn't mean if you're O like I am that you go, well, heck, I'm not going to get it anyway, because let's be clear, there's a lot of people with O blood that have died, but there's something protectant about having type O blood. A, B, and AB. More people have died with this virus that have those blood types. Share that with people. Knowledge is power. People know their blood type. They need to know it. It doesn't mean that if you're a O, don't be careful, because you daggone better sure, because we are getting ready to go in some bad times, ladies. it's about to get real, and a lot of people are going to wake up the day after elections and go, it's not gone. And it's not going to be, but we want it because we have something to provide. I mean, did you hear Pascal talk about, look, we've already got, we are a lifestyle company that teaches people how to have a wellness lifestyle through the 5 pillars of health. And we have products that promote that. And people are looking for what will keep them well. So we're going to teach them that. And yes, we've got to sell products, because if we don't sell products, then we don't get products in the hands of people, then they don't have the ability to have the benefits of them. So if you don't have a business Facebook page, please get one set up this week. And if you don't know how, please contact Jeff, and Jeff will walk you through it. He can put you on Zoom. He can share the screen, and he can get you right through it. Because we've got to have an online presence. I'm going to share a lot of things with you all that aren't going to cost you anything. I'm paying for that privilege so that you're going to be able to reach more people, but you got to have the page, and you got to have a picture. And on your individual page, if you don't have a picture, let us help you put it up. Because I'll tell you, when I get a friend request from somebody and they don't have a picture, I don't even look them up. It's just delete, because I don't trust it. There's a lot about seeing a face we know, like, and we trust. So Thursday night and next Sunday, we've got events. Let's start inviting. If you're not doing the inviting, invite. This is going to be a fabulous month. And November's going to be better. And December is going to be even better. I do not know if it's going to be November or December that the new bed is going to come out. But we want to be talking about the air filtration system, I think. Let me just check with Ruben and let me find out. I love it, Cece.
You reading Jeff's text messages?
Well, see, it comes into mind. We have the same Apple ID. This morning,
bother you.
This morning, one of my consultants called me on my phone. It didn't even ring on my phone. It rang on Jeff's phone. Because we share this Apple ID, our lives get weirder every day, and I don't want to change it because it'll change what we're doing. It's weird.
I know that feeling.
The sign up, when you sign someone new up, it's about $102 and some cents, depending on what the tax is.
I just had them in the wrong spot.
Yep.
No, I sent her the promotion, and now she's asking me, she's texting me all these questions. How much is the system? How much is the system if I don't get on now? How much if I just buy it under you? And then I was like, oh my goodness, this is too much stuff for me to pull out of my brain, but I can't get on my thing because I'm talking to you. So let me ask Jeff if he knows the number is correct.
It's usually like 103.89.
He says it depends on the tax rate. And I don't know what your tax rate is.
Last one was 103. So I think he's right.
And it's going to save her 20% a month.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not going to get the 17% off of that order for this month because it is a wellness subscription, but she's going to save 20% because you save 20% more because she's going to get it wholesale as opposed to retail.
But if she does a regular order of her water system, she'll get that 37% off of that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
So she sets up her auto ship, she'll get the 20. And then if she sets up the water purchase, then she'll have 37. So either way, she's saving more than 50%.
She's going to save it. She's going to save a bundle. And of course, we know that the savings keep going.
Right.
And I know that they don't want you to hear this, but you know, one of the things that does so well for me, I mean, I only have so many of you all that want to do this as a business, but I've got a lot of width. I've got people that are putting in orders every single month that are, I mean, they're wholesale consultants, but that counts in my volume. Last month, and I didn't even realize this because last month I earned the extra 20% off on a single order with free shipping that I've got to do between now and the 12th of November. And I wasn't even, I thought that I had to qualify at gold, which I haven't done. But if my PGV was at least $3,000 and it was over $5,000, then I got it. And so they sent me the thing. I mean, you know, and I'm able to do that. My PGV is strong. I mean, it doesn't include Shirley or Betty or it doesn't include Dara or Michelle. I mean, there's a bunch of people that it doesn't include. But I've got a lot of people that are buying stuff all the time, and that counts to my PGV. So don't sweat the wholesale consultants, because one day they may decide they want to do something. I mean, just don't sweat it. I've got a girlfriend, you all know Ruth Lowe, and Ruth never wants anybody to sign up unless they're going to actively do it. I just don't worry about it. If they ever put a thing where you got to have 3 customers under you, then yeah, a lot of those people will go away. I don't think they're going to do that, but I'm not going to worry about it till then. I mean, it really works for you. And then they would go back to being a customer. People love to save money. They love to save money. Any questions about anything before? Because we'll have a good time on Wednesday night. But any questions you all have at this point about how you can use these incentives to promote your business this month? I would think about mothers that you know who are having to homeschool. The statistics say that women have been hit harder by this than any other group. And make no mistake, North Carolina's getting ready to send our kids back. If those numbers keep going like they are, the school's going to close back down. We've already had one teacher in North Carolina that got COVID at school and died. She was a 3rd grade teacher. It was down east where they had already sent them back. So as these numbers go, because you know it's going to get to a place the teachers ain't going to go in there. I mean, because the truth is, one of the students gave it to her. I mean, the students may not get it and die, and the students may die, but the teachers are at risk. And they're talking about what this pandemic is doing to women, because it's taking people out of the workforce. Mm-hmm. So parents that are having to homeschool their children now can't work like they used to. And let's not be sexist. There's some daddies that are staying home because mamas are making more money. I've got a situation like that right now that I'm getting ready to call a consultant tonight and talk with her about this. She works and her husband stays home with their handicapped child up in Maryland. So think about those. Think about who may be open because they need this now. Ask your friends, do you know anybody that's been laid off or anything that's going on? I mean, this is the time. If you know someone who's Latino, as soon as that recording comes out of showing who's best in this company, send it out. It ain't people that look like me. You know, it's like this is a business that everybody is equal. Everything else aside, that was one of the things that really excited me about it. I'm going to tell you a story. When we first got in this business, I thought I was too good for anything that was network marketing or anything like that. And only people that weren't smart or uneducated ever did it. That was my belief set. And I felt like that it wasn't.
That wasn't mine.
That wasn't Jeff's. And I thought that people would not appreciate the fact that I supported and worked with the LGBT community. And I thought I was too good for Humans Being More. Well, most of you know I've done it 20 some times, so something changed. But here's the deal. So we had to go to Humans Being More in order to go silver. And I was like, that's a waste of money. It's only $299. And Jess said, well, we got to do it if you want to go silver. And I was like, whatever. So, I'm a little different. I asked 2 of my transgender friends to go with us to Atlanta to do Humans Being More. And it was a litmus test, if you want to know the truth. Well, I went, and it was a transformational weekend for those 2 women because they were accepted and embraced for who they were. They were both in their little individual groups asked to be the leader of the group. Do you know what that did for them? And I was blown away because it was one of the best weekends I've ever spent. And I was like, okay, I'm on board. And then I got the vision of what this company really looks like, of how we do it together. And and I've never looked back. I haven't reached where I want to be, but you just keep going. That's the deal. This was one of the most important things anybody ever said to me. And I was frustrated one day, and I was talking to Dave Johnson, and Dave Johnson said, Kimball, everybody will tell you that I was an overnight success because I was like 40 years old in Nikken, and here I did what I did. He said, I had been doing network marketing for 20 years. He said, I wasn't exactly what you'd call an overnight success. We are at a point, it's a perfect storm. We're at a point where we can just open this wide up at this point. It doesn't matter how long you've been in, it doesn't matter how good you've done or bad you've done. This is a point. When Edison was interviewed after he made the light bulb that we're pretty much using today, and this cocky little reporter said, Mr. Edison, how did it feel to fail? And I can't remember, it was 700 or 7,000 times. They're big numbers. And you know what Edison said? He just looked at him like he had 3 heads and said, well, my good man, I never failed. He said, every one of those light bulbs taught me something. Now, I got hit on the hand today because Pascal says, don't say fail forward faster, which is my favorite, because I don't care about failing that much. I really don't. Maybe I've done it enough in life that I'm like, well, there I go again. And I learn from it and move on. But he says our brains aren't wired that way, but I always knew I was a little special. Mine might not be right. But, he said, I learned something. And that went into this. And that's where we're at. Don't worry about what the heck you've done. Let's go. We got to get moving. Let's go. There are people out there that need, when I heard that about our air filter, I'm like, oh my God, I sold 3 or 4 of those in August. I should have sold 40. People need these. And I will have the answer by Wednesday. As soon as I get the answer from Ruben, I'm going to find out, because I want to make sure that they think that they're going to be available in December, because we're going to be working and thinking about, we're not going to talk about them that much this month. Because don't talk to people about what we don't have. Right. But if we know they're coming in December, then we are going to plan a marketing campaign to take advantage of that. We don't ever want to talk about what we don't have. We've got products. In fact, we used to have this infrared light that Jeff has been using on that finger for a week, and you would be amazed at how better that finger looks. And it's hurting him, but not like it was. But we haven't had that light in 11 years probably. That's how Nikken, I don't talk about the light because we didn't sell enough of them, so we don't have it. So you no need
we
to.
Sold a ton of them.
Yeah, but we didn't sell enough to keep selling it.
Right.
Any product that they quit selling, it's because we didn't sell enough. They don't never quit selling anything that sells. So if you love a product, share it with people, because if you sell it, they're going to make it. That's how it works. It's supply and demand. Mm-hmm. But talk about what you've got and talk about what excites you. Talk about those insoles in your shoes. Talk about this around your neck. Share that. I've sold ton of joint lately just by sharing the video with Carrie Roundy and the video. Somebody asked me about it on here, and I started sending that out to people with a sample. And I've got people are loving that joint. They're like, oh my God. I had a woman who told me she didn't want to take a supplement. She didn't want to take any more supplements. She saw that and she said, I need another bottle. She said, after a few weeks, my fingers already felt better. So I'm getting it for her. So let's do this. Any questions before we call it today?
Well, can I say something here? Kathy, I don't think ever got on, but I do know you said don't talk about what we don't have.
Right.
We don't have the sleep systems available now.
It is okay to say, we've got a sleep system coming. It's amazing. You could go ahead and get your comforter this month and save how much?
15%.
That's right. Go ahead and get the comforter this month and get that when it comes out.
But we don't have the Kinko seat anymore right now.
We're not going to talk about it. There is one, but I don't know when. What happened with that is the
supply.
Yeah, they couldn't keep the supply. So they're redesigning. I don't know how long that's going to take.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out what all it is that we don't have right now.
Okay, right now we don't have a pet pad, which is probably going to have a new name when it comes out so that people don't forget. My daughter-in-law, when she opened that up at church, and it was my baby gift to her, people were a little terrified. I'm just going to tell you, you're going to put your baby on a pet pad? I could just see Church Lady from Saturday Night Live. Oh, so people will freak out. So we're not going to talk about the pet pad right now. We're not going to talk about the Kinko seat. We are going to talk about there is a really cool pad coming for the mattress. And I know somebody who's already slept on it, and he said it rocked. And I think it's going to be, if it's not the same thing, one that they've already got in Mexico. It's coming. It's coming by the end of the year. But you know what? We got this fabulous pillow, and we got this comforter and the sleep mask. You could get all three of those and start enjoying them, and then just add in that pad, and you'd save 15% off of all of them.
And your pillowcase in there too, right?
Oh, yes, I forgot the pillowcase. Yeah, the pillowcase is good for the wrinkles. Tell women that the pillowcase helps with the wrinkles, and the eye mask helps. I've sold more of those eye masks when I told people they helped with wrinkles around the eyes and puffy eyes than anything. And I have learned that a lot of women will spend money on what's going to make them look younger faster than they will what will make them healthier. Yeah. And if they want to know the truth about what will help with your wrinkles the most, is drinking enough water.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
I'm going to go fill my glass up again with water right now then.
half of your body's weight in water a day. That's it.
Yep.
I'm going to put my eye mask on. I'm drinking some water. And then what else is it I need to do?
Put your pillowcase on.
Put your pillowcase on it. You can pillow.
I got to order the pillowcase. I got the pillow, but not the case.
And if you don't have an eye mask, get the eye mask.
I already got that. I got the eye mask.
You got to get some pillowcase, and you're in like Flynn.
Sweet.
Now, eye mask you can buy on what's the name of that place where you can buy accessories to the products?
Bella's. What is her place?
Focus on growth.
Focus on Growth
has one, and then there's
they have the coolest little eye mask cover that you can sleep on. It's really good. It kind of makes your eye mask last longer, and you can put it inside it and sleep on it. I love it. Yeah. But Kim, I'm going to text you sometime on this app. Wednesday night, I'm having the NGLCC is having a mixer, and from 6 to 8, I'm going to be on there, and I'm going to be able to introduce myself and Nikken to the entire group. And so I may want some pointers and some ideas.
Okay. How long do you have? Is it a 60-second, or what have you got?
It's more like it's probably be, okay, new members, me, Sheila, what do you do? I'm in Nikken. Tell me about Nikken. That kind of thing.
Okay. So you'll have about 60 seconds or a little more.
Right.
I will help you put together a 60-second. Everybody needs a good 60-second. And I worked on this with my coach a few weeks ago. And so I have some new ideas about that. And he is somebody who does some amazing stuff with 60 seconds. So I'll probably put some of that into our Wednesday night call, but I'll go ahead and work with you on it.
Thank
You
you.
go.
Cool. Yay.
Anybody else got anything else before we go?
We can go get a bite to eat before we come on to the ladies leading ladies.
I know we're going to walk downtown to have a salad outside. So we're going to be eating while we're on Ladies Leading Ladies.
All right.
Cool.
All righty, guys. We love you. You all
Love
are
y'all.
amazing. And we are going to rock this thing at the end of the year.
Yes.
Bye, everybody.
Love y'all.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.